Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, January 22nd, 2019. We're coming from Mayor Demings' office at the Orange County Administration Building here in beautiful Orlando. So let us know you can hear us and see us. I'm at a different location, as you can tell. I want to make sure, obviously, I don't want Mayor Demings to go through the entire interview and nobody can hear him. So Rose Kemp is on. Rose, give us a thumbs up or a heart. Joe Toma's on. We're getting thumbs up. So that's how they communicate with me and let me know that they can hear us or see us. Welcome to the show. I'm so honored to have you on, Mayor Demings.
Well, I'm honored to be here with you, Ted, as well. I understand that this is the 300th show, and so during my early tenure now as the fifth elected mayor, I get to do these types of things. And so Happy New Year to everybody, and thank you for inviting me on the show.
Thank you so much. That's right. It's my 300th episode, and when it was coming up, I said, gosh, I would love to see if Mayor Demings will come on. I thought it might be a long shot, but I tried anyway, and you graciously accepted, so thank you. So I know I had a lot of people when I posted this past weekend that you were coming on, and I had sort of let people know. A lot of people said, I've got so many questions for him. So feel free to ask your questions. If we don't get to all of them during the show, I promise you we'll get back to you after the show. You know it's going to go by so fast. The audience knows this 27 minutes goes by so fast. So I want to start with your beginnings because I think people can read a bio, but it's really cool when you get to hear it from the person who lived it. So can you tell us a little bit about your beginnings?
Well, I was born here in Orlando. I'm the youngest of 5 children, and I have a twin brother who is about 30 minutes older than I am. His name is Terry. I'm Jerry. And my parents are 2 blue-collar workers that worked here in this community. My father is 96 years old, still drives an automobile. My mom passed on, sadly, about a year and a half ago. But I started out after graduating from college. I moved back here to Orlando and started my professional career as an accountant here in the area. And somehow,
I didn't know that either.
Yes, that's what I did for a living first. But somehow I had this calling for public service, and I really always had a fascination for law enforcement. And I applied 38 years ago to the Orlando Police Department and got hired as a street cop and worked my way up through the top and became police chief in 1998, and then came to work here from retiring from the city of Orlando. I came to work here as Deputy County Administrator and Director of Public Safety for about 6 years. Then I ran for sheriff, and I was sheriff for about a decade. And I'm a month or 2 into being the mayor. So here we are as Orange County Mayor.
What was the transition like going from being sheriff to mayor? I would imagine that you learned a lot from being sheriff, but I'm sure that the tasks are a little bit different being mayor.
The task as mayor is certainly much larger than being the sheriff, but very similar in that the politics that I'm used to dealing with in this community, I'm well familiar with. In terms of the community stakeholders, I'm familiar with most of them. But in addition to the experience that I had as being one of the deputy county administrators, Orange County government I'm very familiar with because of the different roles that I play here. But it is like drinking water through a fire hose, because I'm just immersed in a myriad of issues here in the community. And I have a lot more friends because they feel like, well, the county has money, so I need to get part of the tourist development tax money. I need to get part of this. I have some land use issues, and so it's really much broader. But I always go back to this. The fundamental purpose for government really is to keep the people safe. And so public safety will remain one of the most important things to me during my tenure as mayor. But I'll be looking forward to job growth, making certain that we create the kind of innovation in this community and collaboration and inclusiveness that allows us to grow and prosper as a community where we leave no one behind. But we have some growing pains. We're going to be looking at issues like the affordable housing crisis that we're in the middle of, issues like coming up with solutions to the regional transportation challenges that we face, and Lastly, economic development is something that is certainly important to all of us in this community.
So I have many questions based on that, but one of the number one questions I got prior to the show is how is it how do you all work? And I know you do a fantastic job with it. Well, Joe asked, there's two questions. How do you all work? You've got Mayor Dyer, and you've got a mayor of Orange County. You all share a lot of the same things. You all seem to partner so well. I mean, I feel like that partnership here in Orlando and Orange County is one of the best, in my opinion, in the nation from what I've seen. How was that different when you were coming in as sheriff? And now, so you're kind of the sheriff of Orange County. You got the whole Orange County mayor stuff going on, and then you have the city, and you all have to work together.
Certainly, Mayor Dyer, I consider him a friend. We will work very closely together in partnership. I think in order for us to be successful as a region, I have to not only work with the municipalities within Orange County, but those outside of Orange County as well, and looking and working across jurisdictional boundaries with the neighboring counties, as well as the state, as well as the federal government itself. In talking about how do we perceive working with those different groups? It's all about relationships that we have. As a retiree from the city of Orlando, spent 21 years working for the city, I'm very aware of how the city government functions itself as well, and so I intend to kind of leverage that. We'll work with some of our nonprofit communities as well as we kind of bridge the gaps. So I'm highly motivated to make certain that Orange County becomes a type of place that we all are proud of as we grow.
And yesterday was Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, and I know you did a speech. I want to ask you, what was it like, or what is it like? How do you feel being the first African-American mayor of Orange County?
I know that I'm standing on the shoulders of a lot of civil rights advocates and others who, work tirelessly to make certain that people like me have a seat at the table. Yesterday we honored Arthur Pappy Kennedy Jr., who was the first elected African-American official here in the Orlando area. He was elected in 1972 and was sworn in 1973 as Orlando City Commissioner. He was a guy that broke the color barrier, if you will. He has passed on, but we honor him in addition to the rich legacy of Dr. King. And so I'm able to sit here today as the Orange County mayor because of people like that. And so it's a humbling experience, but I'm honored to be able to serve, having received overwhelming support of the electorate here in Orange County. I've been on the ballot a total of 6 times over the years, and I'm happy to say that all 6 of those elections we won by a landslide. And so it's good to be from the community, of the community, and elected by the community.
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't know about the six times. So you have no losses.
I don't.
So what is the daily challenge? You come into the office, what does it look like? Because I think a lot of people go, okay, I came in, this is actually the first time, it's probably since I can remember that I've been in the administration building. You come in, what does your day look like? I had a lot of questions like what does the mayor do on a daily basis? And you don't have to run through, it's 7:05, I brush my teeth. But give us an idea about what goes on in your day.
Well, my day is full of activities. In order to plan for each day, it takes preparation the days before that. But typically, I rise early, read some emails and some other information that's provided to me. Then I come into the office, and sometimes I have a meeting with various constituents. Much of it is working with my internal staff to manage the $4 billion budget for Orange County and being proactive as opposed to reactive to issues. And then is sometimes preparing for the Board of County Commission meeting, and that takes a whole series of meetings to get prepared for that. Then we meet with constituents. We do a fair number of interviews, a fair number of speeches, a fair number of welcomes to the community, but I get about the business also of trying to bring commerce here to the area, so that requires me to meet externally with chambers of commerce and other businesses that are looking to relocate here. We get involved in some of the social issues as well. So I'm often having some dialogue with our non-governmental organizations, our nonprofits here in this area. Then there's a series of just constituent services that we're engaged in. A number of people want to get in and see the mayor. I like the educational things, getting out to our schools and walking amongst our children and our youth. I do see my role somewhat as a role model and a mentor. So I sometimes meet with young people, college students, and others who are pursuing a career in government, and sometimes they shadow me around. So I have a wonderful opportunity to just do the things at this stage in life that I believe brings value to me and value to the community as well.
Love it. This is so good. I'm motivated. I think that's the thing. You were talking about being a mentor. You were talking about loving to work with the youth, because the youth are obviously, the more they are mentored, I'm a big believer in that as well, the better their opportunities are. So I think when you're out and about, the other thing, you're very accessible and approachable. Just ask my wife, Stacy, she'll tell you. So at events, when we go out and I see you either at a charity event or some sort of event that's going on in town, you always say hello, you always engage, and I think that is so important when you are when you're a public official, that people feel that connection to you. That's my opinion. I also wanted to ask, what do you want to accomplish in the first year? Because you talked about some of the things that you'd like to change, but in the first year, you are only a couple of weeks in, a month in maybe.
Yes.
So I know some of this might be premature, but I know that you have goals when you come in, things that you want to accomplish, and now you're starting to work toward those. What are some of the specifics?
Well, the transition team that I put in place, after the election, I worked for about 6 weeks to make some recommendations for changing the county's organizational structure. On next Tuesday, we'll be taking that restructuring that organizational chart to the Board of County Commissions for approval. That will allow me to really complete hiring the staff that will help us to execute the broad vision that I have for Orange County in the coming months. And so we have named a few key people during that period of time, but we still have a number of others, department heads, deputy directors, that we will need to appoint because of retirements and some other things that are occurring. So we're going to get that done as well. But within this first year, I want us to really have a better idea about what we are going to do to address the regional transportation system challenges that we have. I believe that in order to pay for that system, we're going to have to identify some type of funding source, a dedicated funding source to improve our regional transportation system. That is directly tied to our ability to get around, to be well connected, to address affordable housing, to get people out of cars, etc. And that means that we will have to work across jurisdictional boundaries. So I'm going to lead efforts to advance that forward. There are different funding models that work across America, and we want the right one for our community here. So you're going to hear much more about that. We are going to look to improve the I'm going to say the STEM focus, the science, technology, engineering, and math related businesses here in this area. We're going to work with the various chambers, the Orlando Economic Partnership, and others as we try to recruit and improve and increase the business opportunities, not just for the large corporations, but for the small businesses here in this area. We want to continue focusing on maintaining this robust tourism economy that we have. We had 72 million visitors visit Orange County or Orlando in 2017. We believe that number will grow even further in 2018. We have 47 million passengers that went through our airport in 2017. We believe that number is going to be even greater in 2018. We want to continue that type of visitation here in this community because it fuels our economy as well. And so I'm going to be working through the various boards that I serve on, from the Aviation Authority to the Expressway Authority to the Links Board to Metro Plan and others, to make certain that we stay laser focused on it. We had 8% growth in our tourist development tax revenues in fiscal year 2018. We want to make certain that we keep people coming, because those revenues to our tourist development tax are being used to incentivize things like the NFL Pro Bowl game, which is going to be here in a couple of Sundays, and that brings additional revenues into our community. Yes. But it also puts us on Main Street and keeps us marketable around the globe with hosting these international sporting events that we have here. So I'm going to continue focusing on working with Mayor Dyer and others to bring these high caliber professional sports events here to our community as well. And so I won't continue to just go on at this point.
I love it. You're getting
things.
So many hearts. People are saying they love what you're saying.
We want to also continue the pathway of trying to deal with the long-term homelessness problems that we have here. Here in about a week, our board of county commissioners will address an issue. There'll be a budget item where we're going to hopefully approve additional funds that will be devoted to housing first for people who are homeless in this community. And so we're going to lead with those types of efforts. And again, job growth is something that is really, really important to all of us here in this community. I look forward to even working with our educational institutions to make sure that we have a ready job contingency of people who can fill the high-tech jobs, the construction jobs, the highly skilled jobs. So we're going to be looking for all types of public-private partnerships in that regard as well.
Amazing. So tell me, you mentioned diversity earlier, and I didn't forget that. I know that that's important to you. Will you define that? Because I think a lot of people have different definitions of what diversity means. And why is that important to you and to our growth and what our plans are?
When I talked about diversification of our economy, I'm talking about not forgetting our bread and butter, our tourism community, but if we can attract jobs that pay higher wages, then the more discretionary income that a family has, the more that they can spend it to improve the overall quality of life for their families. And so we are going to be working to do that. Higher education is important. I'll be working with Dr. Whitaker from UCF and hopefully making certain that they are offering the types of college degrees that translate into marketability and higher wage job placement for their graduates. We'll be working with Orlando Technical College, a subdivision of the Orange County Public School System, to make certain that we are creating highly skilled jobs as well. And I want to create an entrepreneur ecosystem here where we have a system through innovation, collaboration, and inclusiveness for small businesses to be able to start their business here in Orange County, grow their businesses here, and hopefully stay here. And that means that making certain that through our regulatory practices, through our business practices, through our ability to offer incentives, that we are doing what we can do to make sure that they have all of the tools that they need to be successful in starting and growing their businesses here. We'll be looking to create partnerships with our financial services industry to ensure that they have the type of lending practices that can help support a business that wants to start up as well. And so all of that is something that we are looking to do here. We're looking to even streamline some of our internal processes for getting building permits, occupational licenses, and the likes as you kind of move forward to start a business here in Orange County.
Because all of that impacts it. If you're standing in the line too long, or people have all these things that they go through that are part of doing business, but they still have to go through them. If you can streamline them, it just continues to let the business progress a little faster, a little better, a little smoother. So if somebody wants to get involved in Orange County, I had a lot of questions about that too. If somebody says, I'd like to volunteer, I'd like to get involved, who do I go to? What do I do? How do they reach out? Or maybe what's the first step for them to get involved? Somebody mentioned the Orange County Mayor's Academy earlier, but there's other ways. There's a million different ways you can get involved. What would you say to them?
Well, let me say this first. We want to ensure that our local government works for our people. And the best way that we can ensure that it works for the people is to involve the people in our government. So there are numerous opportunities for individuals to volunteer. If you want to volunteer, you can simply go to our website at orangecountyfl.net, and there's an icon you can click on there for wanting to volunteer. There's an application that you can complete online, and where the mayor and other commissioners have the opportunity to make appointments. We do that based on the applications that we receive. Yes, we have a Mayor's Academy. We will continue that. The program has started prior to me, but I can tell you that it's an offshoot of Citizen Police Academies that we started back in the 80s here in the Metro Orlando area, so we will continue that. We have a number of advisory boards. Here soon I'm going to be looking for a group of individuals to be part of my mayor's advisory board. We have groups that support our veterans and others as well. So when you go to the website, you'll see much of that. So the website is how you can get a lot of information. Otherwise, if you're trying to contact us directly here in the mayor's office for something that you may be interested in doing, you can do that through the journal number, the 407-836-7370, 407-836-7370. And certainly you can work within our various departments and divisions. They too have websites and numerous volunteer opportunities as well.
Just my input to that is, you have a lot of people, it's not on this particular show, but a lot of people, they'll tell all the things that they believe are wrong, things that they want changed. And what I want to encourage you to do, people who are listening or who will watch later, is in order for it to change, get involved. I mean, if you want your voice heard and you want to help make some of the changes, do exactly what Mayor Demings just said. Go to the site, look at what volunteer opportunities there are. The government is open. I said this when I had Mayor Dyer on. The government's open. You can't have a more open government, I feel like, than we have in Central Florida. And so if you're going to complain about it, do something about it. If you want it changed, go and volunteer. And this is me saying that, not Mayor Demings. So we're going to share all of Mayor Demings' contact information, the phone number again, the websites, how you can reach out, how you can get involved. And he's going to answer, or his office, his staff, someone's going to answer all of your questions, because obviously this 20 plus minutes goes by really quickly and we don't have a chance, but I know that they're going to reach out to you, and I will too, and we'll try to get you the answers. So any parting words of wisdom for them, any kind of vision you want to give them for the county, anything you want to say before we head out today?
Well, let me just say thank you, Ted, for inviting me on the show. I look forward to coming back at different times in the future, but please get involved in your local government. We are only as good as the weakest link that we have in our community. When we work together in partnership, we are a strong community. And just coming off of the MLK holiday, it was really a day of service as well for this community. And so I'm honored to be serving as your mayor here in Orange County. And thank you for all of the support. And stay tuned for many of the initiatives that we'll have going forward.
I'm excited. Thank you. It's really an honor to have you on the show. An honor certainly to have you on the 300th episode of the TED Show. Who could believe that this started 1.5 years ago with Ms. Gert Garman, if you know Gert Garman. She was my first guest. And I just appreciate you sharing all of that. I think it's super important that our public officials, the people that we elect, are accessible and are approachable like Mayor Demings obviously is. You can ask him questions. You can reach out to his office. His office has been amazingly helpful in getting the interview done. And at no time did I ever feel like I couldn't ask the questions that I wanted to ask. And I think you answered so many of them that everybody had. So thank you again for being on the show. We love you guys. We'll be back tomorrow, I think. But 300, I got to go relax and celebrate. All right, love you guys. See you later. Mwah.